Thank you. All right. We'll talk about this idea about where brilliant meets ridiculous. But first, I always like to have a class or a presentation do a little warm-up exercise. So if you'll play along with me and do a little warm-up. So if you're standing or sitting, it's fine, but take your right leg, lift it off the ground a little bit, and circle it in a clockwise manner. Keep it circling and don't stop circling. Then draw a big number 6 in front of you with your right hand. Keep it circling clockwise. Okay, anyone do it? I'm going to ask our brain scientists later about that one. So, all right. Well, thanks for playing along. This idea of brilliant meets ridiculous. It's that razor-thin line of ridiculous ideas that become brilliant, or they're so close to each other. And I think this translates well for youth, because obviously we've heard a lot of great talks today about that same point where we have that creativity when we're young, and then we sort of get it drilled out of us. And I love this around just pushing ourselves. So I'm around a lot of creative, innovative people, and they're much more comfortable being ridiculous. So that's really the point I want to make. And I look around at almost any common invention that we use today, and I think, geez, probably at one point it probably seemed ridiculous. So I'm going to use the example of eye care. And I was thinking about the first contact. The first contact lens was invented in 1887 by F.E. Muelleroff. Da Vinci's given some credit for around the 1500s for a sketch of it, but I can envision him taking the first prototype, which was a piece of blown glass, and saying, here's my prototype, put that in your eye and you'll see better. Does it break? Maybe every now and then, but not all the time. But that would seem like a really ridiculous concept. And for contact wearers like myself, it's a wonderful invention. And then thinking about the, again, on that eye care path, the first pair of glasses invented in 1284. And, geez, probably at that point, those seemed a little weird and strange to put on your face. I remember being in the 4th grade needing glasses. I think I needed them in the 1st grade, but didn't want to wear them. Actually, I think I tried to memorize the eye care chart, so I didn't have to have glasses because they seemed so I didn't like them. But can you imagine, oh no, Salvador, it's trying to say in 1284, you just put these around your ears and you'll look fine, trust me. And then one more example on this path is laser surgery. And I can recall reading about this the first time, thinking, boy, there really is out there. You're going to shine lasers in someone's eyes and then they're going to see better? And then I always wondered, what if you're in California and a big earthquake hits and you got laser shining in your eyes? That seemed a little risky. So, and then probably the most famous invention of all time, we go all the way back to the wheel, 20,000 years ago. I wasn't there, obviously, but if you think about, I'm just trying to envision the first cave person who invented the wheel, came and showed it to the other cave folks. And this is way before there are any roads or any place to go. And I bet they probably thought he was a bit of a nitwit, thinking, what the heck's this guy doing? So with that, be ridiculous, create something brilliant. And I'm going to show you a project over the last year John Cassidy, the founder of Klutz, and I have been working on, all around pushing ourselves to create ridiculous ideas, and then prototyping, actually building them, just to get more comfortable around this. So if you are in a company, this is all around being more comfortable with this type of environment. If you're a parent, it's encouraging that with your kids, which I think is neat. So be prepared. I'm going to show you some ridiculous, or maybe they're brilliant ideas. You're not allowed to carry orange juice through the TSA checkpoint, but I think you could carry this helmet and a bag of oranges and you'd be okay. So encourage ridiculous. This is really something I'm passionate about, and I think there's one gene in our DNA that we're so afraid sometimes to put out that idea that we have. We're afraid to speak up in meetings because we're afraid of being judged by ourselves sometimes and by our tribe by another. So I don't know how to remove that gene, But I have a less surgical fix, which is called play, which I think really ties in about what we're doing here today. In encouraging play, encouraging ridiculous around innovation, it's just a positive way to come up with better ideas. So again, I'm going to show you a few ideas. How might we get in shape while being on the go? So this is the elevator with a built-in Stairmaster. So, you know, it's 100 flights up, but you want to get a little exercise, but you don't want to go the whole way. There's something like, you've all read the statistics, there's 65% of Americans are overweight, 30% obese. I think there's going to be a lot of innovation around trying to get us to move more, some more steps. Mentioned I was on a flight. You get off a long flight, and the minute you do is you walk about 50 feet, and then you get on a moving sidewalk. So it just seems crazy to me. So I think you're going to see a lot of innovation around this. How might we invent a kid's tricycle that does your yard work? I think tying along with the getting more exercise, this is put the lawnmower tricycle. So put wasted play energy to work. Now, there are a few safety issues on this one, but I think we could add some guards or shields around that in the back and watch your kid mow the lawn. So this is in a nutshell, the innovation process. We call it design thinking. I'm really focusing on the ideation section. You want to start with inspiration, observing in the world, taking a point of view, picking the right question. And then once you have that question, then pushing yourself enough so you're getting the ridiculous ideas to get to the brilliant. And then prototyping, then iterating, going through the cycle again. All right, another one to push our ridiculous thinking. How might we reinvent the common parking ticket? I don't know about you guys. If I get a parking ticket, I walk out, pretty much wrecks the rest of my day or afternoon or at least an hour because it drives me nuts. What about if we put some fun back into traffic citations? So either pay up or take a chance. So double my fine, zero fine, or we owe you the fine, which would be. Now, I would probably take that chance. This one's close. I think with a little economics and some tweaking, it could be out there. All right, so I have another little warm-up. This will only take a second. Pick a partner, someone that's next to you. If you're not near someone, that's okay. But I want you to get a little more comfortable yourselves with encouraging ridiculous. This is called the mashup technique. So envision a welcome mat and a whoopee cushion. You would invent the whoopee mat, all right? So with your partner, each separately for about 5 seconds, think of something that you have in one of your closets at home that's probably unique. Think of something that you have. Just think of it in your head. You probably already got it. Now, talk amongst yourselves for another 10 seconds and see if you can do a mashup with your two items that you have. So go. I'm only going to give you a little bit. All right, I'm going to count down from 10. All right, who's got one? Does anyone have a mashup? Someone could yell one out.
Filing cabinet to organize wigs.
Filing cabinet to organize wigs, that's cool. One more.
Medicine mattress.
Medicine and mattress together. So you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to get your aspirin. I love that one. Awesome. All right, encourage quantity. This is a key tenet of being ridiculous. How many ideas can you get quickly? And I love this graph. This is a study of brainstorming. And the quote here is out of 100 ideas, the first 60 ideas produced 5 that were actually new or different. The next 20 produced nothing but laughter. And the ideas 80 to 100 produced another 10 that were amazing. So I've seen this in hundreds of brainstorms I've run. You've got to push yourself and be comfortable with this ridiculous environment to get to the good ones. And that's what's really a creative environment is about. All right, a couple more, then I'll wrap up. How might we invent the next big thing in chainsaw technology? I don't know if there are any folks out there working on power tools, but the chainsaw DVD player. So I've seen LCDs everywhere now. They're even in bathroom mirrors. So who knows? Maybe this might. This is the last sort of 10 I want to talk about. Encourage yes and. I love this idea of yes and. If there are any improv people in the room, you get this. You get an idea and you build on it and you make it better. I think a lot of folks, as they grow in their career, become yes, but people. They'll usually start with something like, yes, that's a great idea, we love it, but we're not going to do it, kind of stuff. So see if you can encourage yourself to be a yes and person. I think that's really neat. All right, how might we make a family road trips more tolerable? And we'll do that. Oh, we're going to jump. Come on. All right, how might we make family road trips more tolerable? What you can't see can't annoy you with the sibling binders. It's a pretty low-tech solution. And the kids aren't staring at the DVD players now. They're actually just, they can look out the windows a little bit. So. And then the last one, I'll wrap up on 2 more, I think, is how might we invent something to stop family arguments in the bathroom? We had a lot of, John Cassidy and I had a lot of ideas around this whole area. But we came up with the multi-seat family model. See, you got Charlie, Jenny, Mom, and Dad right there. You each have your own seat now, which is nice. And a few closing thoughts. Don't take yourself too seriously. I love a friend of mine, Stuart Brown, a scientist who studies play, says the opposite of play isn't work, it's boredom. So encouraging, especially the youth, around being excited about things is really neat and falls along with what I'm talking about. In this quote I love, an inventor is simply a person who doesn't take his education too seriously. And I'll show one more from the...
Hi, Gary. Hang on a sec.
So they have Wi-Fi on planes now, and you know phones are coming. So this solution's a little big for that. But hopefully, if they allow phones on planes, they'll have some kind of solution like this. So with that, be ridiculous, create something brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay.